There are some wise words for grandparents working for a better world from Rabbi Tarfon, who lived just a little after Jesus of Nazareth. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now, love mercy now, walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. Those are sagely words to grandparents. Many of us have fewer years ahead of us than behind us, and our mortality is evident to us with each new day. And yet, we have a vocation. We have a vocation to be good ancestors. We have a vocation to make a difference in the lives of our grandchildren, their friends, and our grandchildren's grandchildren. We have an obligation not to be daunted by the world in which we live. Lord knows, as Harry Emerson Fosdick says, that we can have weak resignation to the evils that we deplore, whether they be disastrous decisions by the Supreme Court related to the environment, guns, religion, or human rights, women's rights, whether they be the continuing prevarications of politicians and those who blindly follow them, believing their delusions as if they are true, whether it be the realities of climate change, whether it be racism, which seems to be rising, or the wars and rumors of wars. It's easy to give up hope, but in the time of our lives, we must live. If not now, when, as Rabbi Hillel says. The story is said of Martin Luther that someone once asked him, if the world was to end tomorrow, what would you do? And he responded by saying, I'd plant a tree. And that's our calling, to plant trees whose fruit we may never see. We are not obligated to complete the work, but we are not free to abandon it. And the work we have to do today as grandparents working for a better world is to speak out for justice, to speak out for democracy, to speak out for the environment, to speak out for human rights, to speak out for future generations, to speak out and yet still remain loving and civil when we confront the evils of our time. Our calling, in language attributed to Angela Davis, the activist in my generation, is to change what we cannot accept. We're not free to abandon the task before us. That's the challenge. That's the soul seed for grandparents working for a better world.